I have a new product idea that we can use with the eufyMake UV printer, and only one of these wood plaques that you can get at any craft store. Before I reveal the funny picture that I have on here, I just want to set the scenario for you. Whenever I'm looking for new product ideas or even video ideas, I like going over to Etsy because this is like where it's at to get any type of new content or even things to make. I came across this painting right here and I knew I needed to do something like that. I mean, these things right here, so stinking cool. So I wanted to do the dog painting with you, but I needed something to show you just to get you hooked in that you want to continue to watch, right? So I chose a picture of myself, and I really wish I hadn't because I keep looking at it going, oh my gosh, ready for this? Wood plaque and a picture of me, acrylic paint. It's terrible and it looks so funny. That does not look like me, but it is UV printed. It may look like this is an acrylic painting, but it's not. I think that's one of the, I always say, this is the coolest feature with the eufyMake UV printer, but there's tons of cool features with the eufyMake printer, and doing acrylic-like paintings like this is a really cool selling feature. So we are gonna do this together. We are gonna do a dog. We're gonna do my dog. You can do yours. Follow me along and I will show you how to do something like this. What I think that we are going to do though is remove the background and get something that looks like this, because I'm not entirely sure if I want a background of this. Now, the one thing that we are going to have to keep in mind is prepping our plaque to start, because this one right here, you're going to have like a ton of overspray. For me, I kind of like it like this. And honestly, if I remove my dog, or if I remove the background to my dog and just have my dog on here, having a naked frame, I think will end up looking really good. Right now, I feel like this is still missing something. And I think I need to stain this and like kind of carry over the stain. I don't know. The printing looks great. I still need to improve this. However, I did not want any type of overspray. Overspray will be not your best friend. It will make a project like this that is supposed to look professional, unprofessional because of the overspray. So we do have to prep our item. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with item prep. Then we'll go into a little bit of design, not a whole lot. And then we will print and see what the end results look like. So let's go to the craft desk where we do some prep work. It's not going to take long, I promise. Let's go. Okay, so over at the craft desk, all you are going to need is your wood blank of choice. I got this at Hobby Lobby. I think it was like 50% off. Maybe it was like 10 bucks. I think it was less than that. I can't be honest. I can't be for sure. But this right here is just a wood blank. I'm going to print on this. I love, and this is the reason why I picked this, is do you see this wood knot right here? We're going to cover that. Generally, having a wood knot on your wood would be a pain in the butt, and we are going to cover it with the UV ink. Now, we are going to need a little bit of sandpaper to knock off these rough edges because that ain't cute. Also, to combat overspray, getting some painter's tape. Just like in a previous video where I did printing on Legos and we use painter's tape to cover the sides to avoid any type of overspray, that's essentially what we're going to do here, is the same type of setup. So first things first, what we got to do is prep our items. So all I'm going to do is take my sandpaper. This is just an old sanding block that I had in my husband's tool chest that I just pulled out. You don't have to have anything fancy. If you wanted to get fancy, you totally could, but you know, this will work for me. All right, I got all of my edges nice and cleaned up. Looks fabulous. You do want to grab some sort of lint-free cloth and just knock off any residual sandpaper, because that ain't cute for a finished product to get underneath your print. Okay, clean up my desk a little bit. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our painter's tape. I actually prefer frog tape over any other painter's tape out there because, in my opinion, it's the best. But I'm just going to take a fairly long strip and I'm going to rip it in half. It's okay if it's not perfectly in half, but it's easier to work with if it's thinner. If you had thinner frog tape than me, great. Don't rip it in half. But for whatever reason, we only have this really thick stuff, and it's harder to work with when it's so thick. And it likes to stick on itself. Oh, ain't you annoying. All right, there we go. When you have it ripped, we're going to take the hard end and we're going to start wrapping this around the top edge. So I'm going to wrap this around, making sure that it doesn't overlap over the top, the top. Hold on, I'll show you. See how I put my wood or my tape all the way up to the top ledge of this plaque? Okay, we are going to go around this entire thing. I do not want any type of paint right here, okay? So we are just going to cover this ledge. All right, so it's pretty much done and fixed. However, I did leave a spot open that's bare naked right here. So I'm just going to put some tape over the top of it because I don't want any type of ink on the bare naked wood that's not this top portion, okay? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my fingernail and I'm going to make sure that my tape is nice and tight to the very top edge of my plaque because I do not want any ink to think, like right here, see how there's like a little bit right here? I don't want any ink to think that they can get into the crevice and on the sides of my plaque. I want it to only be on that front side, okay? So make this nice and tight. Make sure that there is no tape on the top at all because that is going to change the look of your actual finished plaque. Okay, so over at the eufyMake UV printer, I just got done printing a tumbler, so I'm going to take out the rotary attachment tool and set this off to the side. And I am going to insert the large flatbed. Put this in here, and we're going to lock this into place. This is a really cool jig silicone mat system that protects my sticky mats, but also helps me create a jig. So and make sure that my items are nice and straight. So I'm just going to add in one, and then another, and there we go. This is going to be straight. Woohoo! Awesome. This looks good. Nice and straight. Wonderful. Okay. Now at this point, what we are going to do is we're going to head into Canva. You could just head over into the eufyMake Studio. I've showed you that how to do like a really cool AI 3D textured print with only using the eufyMake Studio software. We're going to end up getting to that in a little bit. However, I want to remove the background. Like I want them to not, I really would love for my painting to not have a background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate my dog. And then I'm also going to put like his name because like you see how everyone has their name on there. I think that this is so cool, right? Like so cute. So I'm going to head over into Canva. And I actually have a little saved large bed thing. This is the exact size of the eufyMake large bed. So the file size for this is 335 millimeters by 420 millimeters. So nothing ever gets resized, which is wonderful. And I am just going to drag and drop the picture that I want to use for today's project. Over here in my uploads, we're just going to upload that into there. All right, now I'm going to remove the background because I only want my dog. I don't like that we can see. Should we keep, maybe, wait a minute, hold on. I don't like that you can see the grass on his feet. Let's go back into the eufyMake Studio. Let's go into the eufyMake Studio software. Let's see what it turns out looking like if we keep the background. So we'll go to Creative Lab. And I want to do photo to brushstroke art. And I am going to drag and drop that file into here. Now you cannot import an Apple photo, this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my Finder folder. I'm going to click on that picture, right click, and I am going to come down here to quick actions. And I'm going to convert this image. I'm going to convert, you can do JPEGs or PNG. Actual size, and I'm just going to press convert to PNG. So now this, I'm going to drag and drop that into the eufyMake Studio software, and look, it worked out perfectly. No issues. So if you have a printer that does not have, or if you have a photo that is not supported by eufyMake, that's a quick little hack for you. All right, we're going to come over here into next, and then I'm going to come over here into animal, and Let's try this. This one? Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll just press generate. So we'll wait for that to get done generating. Now this portion right here does cost coins. So just like in the previous video that I did with you, where we just really focused in on only using this AI tool, you know that I spent a ton of coin. This right here takes 10 coins. Now you have to spend them in order to see the results. I'm fairly certain how this works is even if you don't print it, you still used up your coins. However, it does save into your profile. So even if you decide, you know what, I don't like that, I don't want to print this today or whatever, it's yours to keep forever. So I wish it was a try before you buy situation. That'd be really cool. All right, this is the finished picture. It didn't really take away the background, which I thought it was going to. But like, it's going to give me some really good brush strokes. I'm going to keep it. I'm happy with that. I kind of wanted it to look a little different, but that's okay. If you wanted to make it thicker, you totally could. The thicker you go, the longer it's going to take. If you want to bring down the smoothness, you're going to have, we'll go to the side so you can see. Maybe because it's not so thick. Okay, we have 2, 1, and do you see how we don't have a whole lot of texture here? So the higher the smoothness, the more smooth it's going to be. The lower the smoothness, you're going to have more texture. So I am going to, let me see. This actually kind of looks the same from the top. I want to see what it's going to look like with very little smoothness. So we're going to do that. I'm going to keep it at 1 millimeter thick. I don't want to do like an extremely long print. It is going to take a long time. This one right here took like an hour and a half to get done. So just know it does take that long. Okay, we are going to press Snapshot. What that's doing is it's taking a live preview of what's inside my eufyMake printer right now. It is going to take a few minutes to get done, but the great thing is we're going to be able to size this onto our wood blank without having any type of like guessing issues or, like questions about where you're going to be printing. Okay, Snapshot is done. Before we do anything more, because I always like to just remember my print settings real quick. Sometimes I have forgotten. I'm going to go from unknown to wood because we are printing on wood. Now, this right here is going to have a bit of overspray. I'm going to make this smaller just so you can see. Do you see how there's some overspray right here? That is due to this right here. If you didn't want to have any type of overspray like what you see on my backer board thing, then we could have edited the picture into an oval in a different software and then brought it into Eufy to do the rectangle, the oval. It's just a lot of work. I don't suggest it. I'm just going to do it like this because this is a lot easier for me. I am going to center this onto my plaque. And also, this is like why I wanted to cover all of the sides of my plaque with that green tape is because there is going to be some leftover paint, you know what I mean? And you don't want it to get on the sides. I don't think it's going to end up looking good if you were on, like if you had it on the sides. So, I need to pay attention to what I'm doing over here. So we're going to do it like that. There's no visible wood anywhere. I think that this will end up looking really good. What do you think? Do you like the placement of this? You're probably cringing at how much overspray there's going to be, because with overspray that does mean that there is going to be some wasted ink, but you know what? I'm happy with this. Okay, just to show you, the wood round is right here. My dog's going to get printed right here. We are going to have some overspray on some corners. I'm okay with that. Okay, we have already done our print settings, so all we have to do is press print, and now it's going to like radio over, Bluetooth over, send over the file from my computer to the printer. It's all via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. You can plug this in to your computer like you would a normal printer if you wanted to, but I like that it is completely wireless. And also you could do this like internet free too, because I know a lot of people are like, you have to have the internet in order to do it. You could opt out for that. You would have to plug it into your computer, but it could be internet free. Okay, so in total, This is going to take an hour and 38 minutes and 20 seconds. 3D texture prints. If you have not played with your eufyMake printer, the 3D texture prints, one, take a lot of white ink and glossing. So you can see here that we are using substantial amounts, 5 milliliters of each, not a lot of color. Okay, that's because it takes layers and layers and layers in order to build the texture. It also takes a lot of time. So if you have a 3D printer, or if you don't, and you've heard people complain about how slow their 3D printer is, it's because it takes a long time for that printer to go around in circles to build the layers and the height, okay? Same thing with here. So while this is not a very large wooden plaque, it does take a lot of time to build the layers, and it does take a lot of resin to build the layers as well. So 3D texture prints do take a lot of time to print, does consume a lot of ink, but the end results are definitely worth it. So I always suggest doing them, but just know, commit to being, when I do my 3D texture prints, I do them at the end of the day. So I'm in here crafting all day long. I'm using my Eufy, and and I'm printing. When I want to do a texture print, just like today, I'm going to put it to the end of my day. I have done 4 projects already today, and the texture one's my last one because I'm like, I want to be done. I don't want to, I want to be done, okay? I don't want to sit around and wait for this to then start printing again for something else, okay? So just keep that in mind. That's just my workflow. All right, let's see here, an hour and 30 minutes. So I will see you back here in about an hour and 40 minutes. We're just going to press start and then let this go. I should be okay on the white and glossings because you can see that I have about half, 5 milliliters of each. Each ink cartridge is 100 milliliters, so we should be fine. I shouldn't have to switch out any of my inks or anything like that. But see you back here in an hour and 40. A total of an hour and 37 minutes, and I can tell you right now, I'm already in love. And I do love the fact that we dimmed down the smoothness, because this one right here, I did the same, I just did whatever standard smoothness was on the Eufy, like whatever they suggested. And it's all right. Like you can still, there's still some like paint brush marks in here. However, this right here, the amount of texture, do you see that on the side? The amount of texture that's in this that isn't in the other picture looks so, does this not look amazing? I mean, and look at all of this excess paint that would have just been on the sides of this, making it not be a really good finished product. So all you want to do is peel off the painter's tape, but you're going to be very methodical about how we peel it off, okay? I don't want you to peel up because this is right here connected to this print. So what we're going to do is we're going to peel away. And remember that wood knot that was in the plaque. Now you can't see it at all. Let me just peel this off. Small little excess. Look at that. So that wood knot completely covered. Looks so good. The sides look absolutely amazing. Love the look of this. I think I'm going to keep it just like this because I think the vibe looks like it should be. What do you think? Do you love this? I absolutely love this. My house is filled with just a bunch of greens and stuff like that, so I think that this will fit just fine with the vibe of my house. Now, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this one because this one actually creeps me out. This one I'm going to put somewhere in my craft room, but the one question that I have for you is I have posted almost 50 eufyMake UV printer videos. 50. That's wild. In 1 year, we have created almost 50 projects together. And I want to know which one has been your favorite. Have you even watched all of them? I would have to say a lot of these 3D type texture prints have been my favorite, but I have created so many throughout this year that I don't know if I do have a favorite. You have to let me know. All right, y'all, I sure hope I inspired you to create, and I'll see you next time.